Welcome to another great episode of Growth Through Positivity. Today we have the honor of having Berish Laufer. Take a minute to introduce yourself, what it is that you do, and we'll get into a conversation.
So my name is Berish Laufer, and I technically do space planning, which is a portion of the architectural work when you build a house, is the professionally laying out and using up all the spaces smartly, and it should be very practically. When you walk into the house, the whole house should have a nice flow, and every room should be exactly the way you want it with the vision that you had in the beginning, and we're trying to deliver beautiful jobs in the space in the
So,
residential market, which is especially. But we're going into commercial. We do schools. We do Madrushim, and we do doctor's office. I've done a lot of offices, working offices, and the list goes on.
how many years have you been doing space planning?
So my past experience when I started going into this line was I had a kitchen store in Muncie and started doing a lot of kitchens, and until 2008 when we had unfortunately the real estate crash. So I had to pick another industry to get a little more back involved into the industry. And then I realized how important it is to have a person who knows what he's doing when it comes to space. I used to deal with a lot of designers, which are very wonderful people, but when it comes to practicality in general space, some of them have have a little lack of how to put up a full room into perspective. So when I was in kitchens, a lot of times I had a designer telling me, Mr. Laufer, make sure that it fits in, although it didn't. And we had to make magic to make it fit. So I realized that there's a very big field for it and a big need. So I started doing kitchens in the beginning, and that's why my name is half inch scale. For those who know, is that the scale you use to draw kitchens is half inch. But literally, I got dragged into full houses, which is quarter inch scale. But I didn't change my name yet.
I was going to say, because I think the most common from my past experience in the commercial end of things, of in regards to architecture, is quarter inch and eighth of an inch or 3/16. I've worked with also. You got to take your glasses off of that one. But I like the way that you put it, in the sense that there's a need for an architect, there's a need for a designer, and then there's a very specific need for a space planner in regards to utilization of the space. When I built my house, I'll just tell you a quick story. I didn't use someone like yourself because I happen to have that talent a little bit, and I love that challenge and being very creative. But I did recognize that when I went from the architect to a designer for colors and all the other things that the designers, there was a huge gap over there, and I kept on refining it, and shifting walls a little bit, and adding closets, and taking down closets, and practicalities of all that stuff. So I could relate to the value that you bring to an end user. And what made you decide to expand and go into all facets of construction? You mentioned residential, you do the commercial, you do schools, doctor offices, Madrushim. How'd you end up in all of those categories?
It's basically if a person uses me for his house and he's very happy, and all of a sudden he's involved in something else, he will call me for it. Or it's the builder that knows that I using up every half inch of the space. Um, I have a lot of times I have questions from customers. Why should I hire a person like you who does the space when the architect does the space planning as well? and there's a lot of architects doing it really, really well. So the answer is that if you come to a professional in a particular product, for example, over here with the space, I'm technically your advocate, and I'm designing the house that it should fit your needs, and I'm trying to see through your vision. So it makes it a lot more easier. I had a little story lately that a builder came to me that I should make design him a basement for a 2 bedroom, 2 apartments in a basement. So I gave him my price, and I did it in no time because it was like pretty. It was challenging to fit everything, but for me it wasn't too big of a job. And when it came, the secretary called me to make the payment, he started telling me that it took you so fast, and you have to give me a discount. So I told him, you know what, we could go back to the drafting table and pull you for 2 weeks and drag
I
you.
could charge you by the hour,
Yeah,
or do you want a finished product?
right. So I did the plan on a Monday, and Tuesday morning, 8 o'clock, he called me with questions because the framer was on the job. And if you have just sometimes um, a person that doesn't really know exactly what you really want, it will take him 2 weeks, and you feel that you spend your money a little wiser, that you got more for your money because it took 2 weeks and going back and forth. But in reality, if you just do it first the right way, then it saves you time and money, and it's just better.
So, Berish, I want to go back. If I remember correctly, we met at a trade show a couple of weeks back,
Right.
and I think it was you that shared with me a little bit of the growth and the plans of expansion. Uh, Take me back a little bit when you started in 2008, and where you find yourself today, or where you are today, and where you're hoping to get to in the next 10 years. How was that for you? Like, how did that work for you?
So it's a tough question for me, especially because I'm coming from a big show. I had a big place with employees and trucks and deliveries and installers, and the overhead was tremendous. So when I started my design firm, I really didn't want to grow too much. I just want to be full to capacity for myself. So it could be fortunate, it could be unfortunate that I am still at the same stage, and I'm almost by myself. Now I have my son started working for me, and he's doing drafting, and Baruch Hashem is at Talmud Amachke and it's very successful. But I'm a very small firm. I don't.
In-house boutique.
Right.
Okay, so I want you to put some emphasis on that, and maybe it is a little bit of a sore topic or a past. I'm bringing up something of the past, but today the young generation really believes, or they think, that you gotta strike it rich and grow very fast to be successful. So you've been in, like you said, running a large organization, a big company with trucks and installers and insurance and everything. And now you see yourself being in a solar seat where you get to your capacity and you feel fulfilled. Talk a little bit more to that, to the sense of when you're doing what you like and when you're helping people get the product and the finishing piece that they appreciate, how that brings fulfillment, how that drives home the point. And it's not about having 28 trucks on the road and 150 employees or whatever it is.
So I once had a letdown in this topic that I felt like working a couple of years and still being by myself and still not having these 10 drafters sitting in front of me and executing multiple projects. And it hit me in a way. So that day happens to be that I met a very big designer from Brooklyn, and he has like quite a few drafters and workers, designers working for him. So he told me, he asked me one question: "Are you satisfied? Are you making a living out of it?" I said, "Yes, Baruch Hashem." So then stick to where you are, because I have workers, I have drafters, I have designers, and guess what? I'm working for them to cover the pay. So it boils down that it might be that I could make a couple of dollars more. I could be involved in bigger projects and maybe look like on the outside as a bigger firm and a rich man. I don't know, weiß nicht. But at the end of the day, you stay with the amount of money you could make. Now, I was listening to your podcast once, and one of the designers said that he took his business from a service business into a product. He's
Product.
a product instead of a service, and I'm actually wondering how he does it and what it brings, and if it really pays to go that direction. But this is basically where I'm up to, and Baruch Hashem, it's people know about me, and they call me from all over, and Baruch Hashem, I'm.
Excellent, excellent. So I thank you for coming on. That brings us to the end of our short episode here on Grow Through Positivity. I'll be happy to make that introduction if you'd like, or you can reach out to him directly if he's not open to talk to you. Maybe I can convince him. But I think he is a nice guy, and I'm sure he'll share with you a little bit. I believe it's a mindset and maybe a little bit of a strategy, but much more than that, it's not. It's not necessarily that because it's a product that you have to have 400 people.
Right.
I think it's a good approach of how he's doing that, and I heard it from other service providers from the sense that they don't look at their business as a service-based business, and they see themselves as a product-based business, and they get the value out of the people. So with that, I thank you for coming on. For all those that could utilize or would like to engage with Berish, please reach out to him right here on LinkedIn. Same thing for myself. If you'd like to be a guest and come on and share your wisdom, your tips, and your knowledge with my audience, please feel free to reach out to me and direct message me right here on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.